take 2 sips on a liquor. Already done that, you know I'm getting pissed up. So
Thank you,
take 2 draws on a cigarette.
Come raving with us, people.
Sets like bad checks, did I get a rewind and he got bad decks.
Hi everyone, welcome to Comments Below. My name's Poet, what's yours?
David Vujanic.
This is the show where, you know, does what it says on the tin. You leave your comments below and then we speak about them. Some of them are really good, some of them are funny, some of them are quite stupid, some of them are ludicrous. And then we all go on an epic journey and when we get to the end, there's this comment. I don't know what it's called, I think it's something along the lines of Comment of the Week.
Subscribe! Ah! The first comment is from Club Tracks 12. Poet, do you still believe Arsenal will reach Champions League next season after another loss versus Spurs?
Yes, and there's reasons why. As despite there's 7 points between us and Spurs, there's still 30 points to play for. Will Spurs drop points knowing that they've got games against the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea away, they still got Everton to play. Our running's a lot easier. I feel like the pressure's completely off us now. I think yesterday we actually played extremely well.
I'm surprised you're being
extremely
so
well.
positive.
Of course. Do you know what? I always think to myself, if Arsenal get outplayed like against Bayern Munich, it was awful. We just got outplayed, outclassed. I just sort of be like, bloody hell, we've got a long way to go. Against Tottenham, this supposed Gareth Bale, this Welsh superstar, the next Ronaldo and all this other bollocks you like to talk about, didn't really do much. Scored an amazing goal and like 2 other contributions. But if you look at 90 minutes and you think, what was your contribution within 90 minutes? He had about 5 minutes. And to me, that's not good enough. I just don't think Tottenham done enough for me to say, ooh, what an amazing side. Look how great they are. Gareth Bale, who do you think you are? He's got a line there.
What? He
thinks he's Miguel. No.
I did it before him.
No, I think Miguel done it first.
I don't care who Miguel is. Who is Miguel?
Do you like drugs?
No, I don't like drugs. And no, I don't like Miguel. And I saw Bale's haircut and I was like, no, I did it before you. Now everyone's going to start doing it.
Hopefully not, because Gareth Bale is definitely not like a fashion icon in any sense of the word. He looks like a dwarf, but that's grown up. Like really, like his face just looks squashed. He's really ugly. Gareth Bale, you are hideous. If you get a beautiful girlfriend, it's only due to the fact that you have a large amount of money.
He looks a bit like a monkey, doesn't he?
And they threw a banana at him. They threw a banana at him. Praise the Lord.
I found it really...
Finally at a white man. Despite the fact I'm quite upbeat, you're going to see some footage of me quite down because they only come and followed me to the shisha spot, and this is what happened when I watched Spurs v Arsenal at my very famous shisha spot.
Oh yeah. Right everyone, we're at my shisha spot. Spurs v Arsenal. Let's go. Half time, it's 2-0 Spurs. I can honestly say Spurs have done nothing in the whole game. Their contribution has been minimum, but they're 2-0 up. Can't argue, 2 goals, 2 chances, took them both. As a Spurs fan there, Giroud just not good enough. I say it every week and nothing's changing. But second half, optimistic, just got to stay positive and hopefully something goes through. It's 2-1. We just need one more. We just need one more. One real shot goal, just one wide. It is fucking mad in here. Lord, God help me.
He doesn't understand the scheme. He's looking at
the chart. We should just go. Look at Colin. Colin's dancing. That's crazy. That's crazy. Zicky's coming on now. Drew's injured. That's a reaction. 1-on-1. Should have scored. He's killing me here. I'm stressed. Stressed. It's still 2-1. We lost. Game over.
But now in hindsight, they're just wasted days. I thought the saying keep your enemies close. They gotta be my friends because they don't know me most. But no, look who's on the roads getting overdose. Sucker punch, body standing, grabbing the throat. That's me. At the age of 18, in my late teens, had to make the break cleaners.
We lost. I hate Tottenham. They're still shit. That's the end. Goodbye. And thanks, Lawrence.
But what I do know is this: life is too short, soon you won't exist.
As you can see, my mood has completely changed.
I really enjoyed that though.
I'm still very optimistic about Arsenal. Deluded. I feel like we just need... Deluded. That's a good way of putting it. I just think we need a striker. Someone up front where centre-backs like Dawson are a bit afraid. I don't think they're afraid of Oliver Giroud.
Giroud just moves in slow-mo.
Yeah, everything he does is just
It's
quite
like you're
sluggish.
rewinding a cassette. He's like a deer caught. He's just like a fox caught in headlights. Just like. Like that. He had a one-on-one, and I was thinking, shoot!
Yeah.
Shoot, Giroud, Oliver, shoot! And he's just like.
I just hope, Wenger, you have to see from today that signing players for 10 million, 12 million, that's not good enough. You have to fork out big amounts of money. When you look at that Man United team, you know, Van Persie cost 25 mil. Rio Ferdinand at the time, 30.5. Like Rooney, 30 mil. They've paid big money.
Of 1.5 billion being invested into Arsenal. How do you feel about that, Poe?
Do you know what? I always thought to myself, lying's a bad thing. My father did it for many years. So these lies that are coming out in the press, you know, I don't really believe it.
Comment number 2.
Mustafa Noor 9 says, do you think United can hold off Real Madrid in the Champions League second leg?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
That doesn't mean yes, that doesn't mean no.
Man U at home. Sir Alex Ferguson against Mourinho. The battles of the brainiacs of the managerial world. And I think Saf has got it. He's at home.
Man United played fantastic counter-attacking football against Real Madrid in the first leg. I'm just thinking, can they adopt the same mentality at Old Trafford? Another 90 minutes where they're just going to play counter-attacking football? I don't think they can. I feel like a game like this, up top, they've got Benzema, Ronaldo. Man United have got the likes of Rooney, Van Persie and Kagawa, who played fantastic on the weekend. But in the middle of the park, I feel it's where the game's going to be won and lost. But it's just like in the middle of the park, I'm looking at people like, you know, Carrick, great song. He's got an amazing song now. You know, it's hard to believe he's not Scholes. That's a great song. Love that song. But Carrick against the likes of, you know, Ozil, Khedira. Remember Ozil, how big his eyes are? I can see into the future.
He's got that peripheral vision on Smash. In my peripheral vision now, I can see that.
Yeah.
Ozil, he knows what's there. You can see that poster. I can't see it. He just got that, I don't know what it is.
His eyes are massive. Carrick is all right, but then Cleverly, I don't know. Anderson, I think he's forgotten he's Brazilian. Real Madrid have beaten Barcelona in the last 2 games. And obviously Barcelona are a fantastic team.
In like a week.
They beat them at the Nou Camp, 3-1, quite convincing. Then they dropped 5 players or rested, whatever you like to call it. And then they beat them 2-1. So,
they're on the up, aren't they?
They are.
I forgot that fact.
Well, you lot should subscribe and you lot should leave comments. When you watch the game, if you see anything remotely interesting, like Ronaldo's hair, Giroud in the crowd, let us know.
Also, Tom Deacon, our amazingly great friend, he was at Real Man U last time, and this time he's going to be at Juve Celtics, so make sure to have a watch out for that.
Who's going through in that game? Oh, it's quite a difficult one to figure out.
We're going to move on to the next comment. Which is by Jay Gugg, who said, is it me or did Downing score? Well, he did! A header as well. I was quite surprised because my initial reaction, I watched the match as a Liverpool fan, and I was like, that was Suarez, isn't it? And then the camera zoomed in, and I was like, Downing scored. And it was a Liverpool versus Wigan on the weekend. I watched that match. Very happy with the performance. Once again, I'm not going to get carried away because it was Wigan. We seem to be doing really well against the bottom half of the table.
But look at the positives. Coutinho, the Brazilian that they signed from Inter Milan, it was a great player.
We finally got that player who can link the A and the B to the C, and the C being Suarez. Brendan, I might have been wrong about you, geezer. I might have been wrong. But we'll see. We'll give you another season and then we'll see. But your signings are definitely better than the Glishas. Let's not get carried away. I think the point is, do not get carried away.
Don't, Liverpool
still
fans.
Like 7th. So let's just keep it realistic. We're doing all right. We've got a few good signings. Coutinho's doing his thing. Suarez, amazing little hat-trick.
Again.
Keep it up, lads. Keep it up. Let's, do the same against Tottenham. And then I might start believing more.
All right, everyone.
It's this part.
It's this part of the show.
Get excited. We're at that point of the show again.
This is the quick fire round. We went through 15 comments last week in 60 seconds.
That's like an average of like a comment per 4 seconds.
Which is pretty good.
Pretty good. So let me get hyped.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Who do you think will win the Champions League? Bayern Munich. I'm fed up with everyone calling Spurs a one-man team. Bale's a chimp, not a man. Yeah, he's a monkey.
That's good.
Poet and David, do you think the best free kick taker of all time is?
Not Janino, it's
Mihailovic. Who's got better dress sense, Poet or the FIFA player? Comments below should be more often than once a week. It's the best show in Copper 90. Thank you. Maybe it should. Come on, guys. How much pong could Fring Pong Pong if Fring Pong could ping pong? Bench.
She's 26.
I always comment, so please can I have a mention of Lock Up 90 forever? Cheers, guys. Here's a mention. Mention Sunderland, you turds.
Sunderland!
Is the guy on the left related to Jedward? No, I'm not. Literally sat 2 hours watching comments of the week. You guys are simply awesome. You have too much time on your hands. Is the FIFA player really a massive twat?
We dress alike.
Yeah, he is. Is this your only job?
Yes.
I'm a student as well. Hi, my dog is flying over the studio, so wave to him, please. Thanks.
Bye.
David, sing You'll Never Walk Alone in French accent. Do it for the Reds. You'll never walk alone. That was shit. That fruit orange was called orange before the colour orange was called orange. I looked it up. Cool. But it looks like an Irish rapper from the 90s. Read this comment slowly. Fuck you, you made me slower. Poet, say quick round in Jamaican.
Quick fire.
Poet looks like Snoop Dogg and Frog's offspring.
Stop. How much did we get through?
19! 19! Why am I so happy? My
We don't
life
get no
really
bonuses.
is shit. I haven't been this excited this year. Oh, and all I did was read 3 more comments than last week.
It's actually 4.
4.
Yeah, I was good in maths.
This person here, Fabian Holm 11,
Yeah.
said this.
To David and Poet, I love you guys, show. It's the best on Copper 90. Keep on doing these videos, they are hilarious. From South Africa. Am I the only person in South Africa that watch these videos? I kind of feel like I can hear your accent whilst you're speaking as well.
South African. Am I the only person in SA that was... I can't. I can't do it. That was too much pressure. I don't know what that was. That's pretty cool, man. You're watching from South Africa. You know, we appreciate that.
Thank you
South
so much,
Africa's
man.
Quite far from where we are. We're in
It
London
is.
right now. But what we'd like to know is from you, comments below audience and Copper 90 subscribers and YouTubers in general.
Yeah.
Where are you watching from?
Let us know. Leave a comment. Say hi. Say bye. Say anything. Last week was quite peculiar. This week is pretty much the same. Last week he got to say comment of the week in Serbian. We decided to ask people, you know, what language should we say in this week? So, we are at the epic moment of the show. But this time, for one day only, we're going to say it in Maltese. And it goes something like this.
Kumental Gimga. And leave your suggestions. What would you like next week in
Mohammed
language?
Durjic has said, if you could change one thing about the game of football, what would you change? I would have a halftime show. Do you know during halftime it's extremely boring? It's that 15-minute interval, you go piss, you get a hot dog, you speak to people about football that you don't plan to speak to again in life afterwards. If they just had some type of show, some cheerleaders, some tits, people doing backflips, music, something to say, oh my God, this is pretty good. At Emirates, all they have is an old school legend or something, come forward, talk shit for like 5 minutes, do something interesting.
I don't know why, but I think we need like more violence. If the linesman has given a wrong offside decision or disallowed a goal, which should have been a goal, you're allowed to fly kick him. Like you look at the video replay and you're like, sorry mate, you know what's coming. Bang.
And he sort of understands.
And then, you rush him. You basically, because you know we have this little thing I used to play when I was in secondary
Nutmeg
school.
rush.
Yeah, in Northwest London. It was a very kind of violent place. We used to get like a bottle. It wasn't even a football. A bottle lid, anything that can be kicked through a person's legs.
Yeah.
And then you'd kick it through this person's legs, and whoever gets kicked through the legs, you have like 50 people playing. You just get rushed. You get punched by everyone. And I feel like if a referee is making wrong decisions, at the end you analyse his performance and just rush him. Just rush him. You know, he did affect the team, and you might have lost because of him, but at least you emptied yourself on his body. Not sexually.
Whoa.
Not that way. Do you mean like...
Are you saying you want to have sex with the ref? If that's the case...
No, I'm saying like we should punch him up a bit. Just punch him up a little bit.
Well, we've got to say goodbye now. This has been Comments Below. You've been viewers.
Let's sing a song. We should end with a song.
Do you know, like, all the best shows had, like, a song towards the end?
We should make a Copper 90 song.
Like, towards the end?
A Comments Below song, yeah. Oh, theme! I sing the theme tune, write the theme tune.
What the fuck was that?
Well, you know.
Maybe you should write us a song.
I'm actually going to do one.
Please, can you write us a song, like, or some type of melody, like a
record
football
one.
chant that you should send in and we should, like, sing it?
Wow.
If you want to make us a theme tune, please send in a video response that we should incorporate at the end of the show to say goodbye.
Love you guys!
Take 2 sips on a liquor. Already done that, you know I'm getting twisser. So I have to take 2 draws on a cigarette. Tech, like I got Tourette's. Rip up sets like bad checks. Did I get a rewind and he got bad decks? Charge, so I like when I like strobing. Every other move looks like a man's all frozen. Take